Hey there, Miss Wyatt here, and today I'm trying something different from what I usually do. Um, I want to talk about fear, anxiety, and paranoia. These are things that I generally deal with on a day-to-day basis. Uh, so I have ADHD and bipolar, and I do have quite a bit of anxiety and paranoia, especially when it comes to how I deal with people, how I interact with people, you know, how I think people view me. So, fear, anxiety, and paranoia are not things that people um, talk. It's not exclusive to ADHD and bipolar, but I do feel like my ADHD and bipolar do enhance them, especially considering for the longest time I ignored my ADHD and bipolar diagnosis. I was diagnosed at 13, and I was like, yeah, this is not something I can have. This is not something that you know. Uh, this is not something that can, this is not something I can have. This is not something that is. This is not me. This is basically nah. This no. So I basically hid it for like the longest time. Not just for myself, but from others. I was like, I never wanted to be associated with it. I never wanted to identify with it. But um, I, it didn't help my anxiety because I was always, the more I tried to hide it, the more I was like, what if people realize I have this? What if people are like, oh yeah, he does kind of look like he has ADHD, or he does look like he might be bipolar. And I was like, I didn't want people to feel me like that, so I was always like, I was like, oh no, what if people think you don't have ADHD and bipolar? What if people don't? So people knew I took medication, but I never told them what I took the medication from. So it was something that was only kept within my family. But as my anxiety grew, my insecurity grew. Um, I used to be fat. Like it's something I talk about recently. Like nowadays, I'm like I used to be fat. I used to be obese. When I was 13, I was 85 kilograms. I don't know what that is in pounds, but yeah, for a 13-year-old, 85 kgs, very heavy. I lost all that weight when I was in boarding school, but I still had that shame of being, fat, and I had that shame of like, oh, I never liked the way I looked. I never liked, even to this day, I still don't like the way I look. I still think I'll still ask my friend, uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do I look like? Yeah, I might look like a 6 or a 7, but in my head, I'm still a 4 or a 3 because of, all this fat. But that anxiety grew into paranoia, and that paranoia was what kept me what kept led me to isolating myself. Like I sit by myself. I never used to interact with people. I used to be like that kid in the corner, by himself, playing video games, just minding his own business. uh, didn't know how to interact with people. Like I used the way I used to interact with people was, if I tried to tell them what I thought they wanted to hear, and that usually led to like, hey, they were happy, I was happy, I was happy, I could be left alone, and if I was left alone, I felt at ease. So um, due to that, I have a huge like abandonment issue because I feel like I'm always wondering when the like people will figure out who I am, or like uh, like who I am. Like I try to like I don't believe like people like what people see me as is not what I think I actually am. Yes, I do have imposter. Yes, I have a bit of imposter syndrome. So that also leads to that. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, they'll find out. It will be like, oh, they'll be like, oh no, but yeah, it's uh, but yeah. So I always felt like if they figured out who I am, they wouldn't want to be around me. They wouldn't want to be my friends. Again, not the truth, but again, between my anxiety, paranoia, and of course rejection sensitive dysphoria or RSD, I've made up some very crazy scenarios in my head that just don't make sense at this, and working through it with my, especially my insecurity, and because of this, I just couldn't let people come. I couldn't let people close to me. I just would not. Like, I would shut people out. Um, Anyone who tried to get too close, I'd lash out or just shut, pull away. I was like, I was either get so super aggressive that nobody wanted to be near me, or I just pull away and like be like stone cold silence. I'll just be like, I'll look at you, I'll nod once in a while, like maybe say a couple of words, hoping, praying that the person will just leave me alone. And 9 out of 10 times didn't work. Don't know how. It just didn't work. But at the end of the day, it's I've gotten some very close friends, like people who just decided like, no, we're not leaving this boy alone. He looks interesting. Don't know how. I'll like I get sat in the corner, in front of a laptop, just quiet and just minding my own business by myself. So how they got interesting out of that, no idea. But yeah, so because of just not really, really like one way, like feeling like people were going to just leave me, I was always like, I was always like, I can't trust people. People, no go. Dogs, yes. Cats, maybe. People, no. I just could not trust people. It took me a very long time before I could trust someone, like where I could open up my soul to someone. If you get what I mean, it's like somewhere I could go to and be like, yo, I got some problems, problems, and thankfully, very patient. I'm friends with very patient people. How? Don't know, but I'm thankful for their patience, because it's taken me a long time to work through my insecurities. Still working through my insecurities. Still working through my paranoia. But they're super patient. They're super supportive. They'll be like rah rah, all of that. But uh, I know these thoughts are not the most rational thoughts, but they were still there. The one that's the major thought I have is like, would it be better if I was not, if I was no longer living? Like, I also have suicidal tendency. Like, yeah, yes, I have a lot of things that I'm working progress. I don't deny that, but at the same time, it's like, would the world be better without me? Probably no. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, people would be happier. I don't feel like I stand out that much. So like, hey, if I disappeared tomorrow, nobody would really notice. Again, my friends tell me not the case. My head, totally different story. Don't know why, don't know how, but yeah, it's a thing. It's, again, as I say, work in progress. It's but just to protect myself, I keep my emotional defenses sky high. Emotional defenses sky high. I'm like, no, we are not doing this today. We are not letting people in. If you want to get into my defenses, you're gonna have to tear our wall down. And quite a few of my friends have done that, especially some of my current closest friends. They've torn the defenses. I don't know how I keep building my defenses up. So many people have torn them down. I don't know why I keep trying. It's like one person gets in, I'm like, all right, time to rebuild this. Like, brick and mortar. I might as well be called a carpenter. Anyway, enough with my rambling. So as I said, in order to keep people away, I used to lash out or like pull away. Uh, I don't know why I didn't learn. Like it wasn't working. People wanted to be with me. I don't know. But it has hurt a lot of relationships, not only just with my family, but with friends and acquaintances. Like people just like they didn't know what side of me they would get on any particular day. And again, I know it's not the healthiest way to react, but in my head, I justified it because I was like, you know, if they if they can't handle that, then I wasn't worth being with in the first place. Not that they weren't good friends to me. They're all that like good people. No, I usually just blame myself. Again, not a healthy coping mechanism, but it's how I learned to deal with, you know, keeping myself safe, keeping my emotions safe. Let me put it that way. Uh, so um, I was diagnosed at 13. It was a rocky ride. You know, high school was rough. I asked for a transfer from my first high school in Kenya to another high school because I was like, my classmates absolutely hate me. Don't know why. Actually, yeah, I honestly don't know why. But in my head, I was like, my classmates hate me. I couldn't, like, I couldn't go one day without feeling anxious. Like, I'll miss school. I'll be like, yeah, today I really don't want to handle. I don't want really to deal with school or my classmates. So I asked for like a transfer. The second school was not better. In fact, I ended up going back to my first high school. Well, in a different class, but still same school. My classmates were just like 3 years ahead of me, I think, at that point. I don't know. But I ended up going back to my high school, like initial high school where I graduated, and university was just yeah. Let's not that that's not that yeah. Let's not talk about high school university. Um, but because of all that, I couldn't tell people I was fighting myself. I couldn't tell people I was doubting my diagnosis. I couldn't tell a lot of people that because I couldn't trust them. I didn't know whether if I told them that it would end up it would be used against me or that people would view me differently. In fact, that's one of the reasons why up until that I dropped out of university, I used to hide that I was good at stuff. Like I didn't want people to expect anything from me. Like if they didn't expect anything, they didn't have to like they they didn't expect anything, then nothing would be expected. So yeah, yeah, I'm rolling with that. But because of that, I also wouldn't do anything that would actually like get me any criticism, or uh, wouldn't receive positive affirmation. Like if I knew like I was going to get a meh, I wouldn't do it. If I was going to get a bad thing, I wouldn't do it. So because of that, again, assignments. Yeah, I never really used to do assignments. Assignments were like um, kryptonite to me. Between that and just attendances, like my grades just down. But it wasn't until second year of university where I finally opened up to people. Like I was like, tell people like, yo, your boy is struggling. Um, but and thankfully, a lot of the people, like some of my best good friends, were very understanding. They weren't judgmental. They're like, okay, yo, we understand. People have their issues, you know. People have their struggles, you know. We're not here to judge. We're here to support you, and hopefully, they get the same thing from me. I might not be the best, you know. I'm not the most emotionally stable guy. I admit that, and because of that, you know, asking girls out never worked. It's just yeah, it didn't work out. And as I slowly started realizing that people weren't as bad as I made them out to be. You know, of course, not everyone is going to be good, but at the same time, not everyone is going to be bad. And I think that's the one realism that I had to notice. And I slowly started coming out of my shell. Like I mean, of course, people still had to bribe me to get me out of my house, but hey, eventually I got out of my house. And though some of my best experiences were like getting out of the house, like not trying to meet people in like central locations. Like sometimes I'll go meet people at malls, despite me being like the broken person at the Franco. I never let that like drag me down, like or like as much as my thought process was like, if we go to somewhere expensive, I'm not going to be able to keep up. But yeah, but I eventually became comfortable around them that I was able to show my weakness. I was able to show my insecurities. I was able to show like some of this stuff. Like I wouldn't outwardly be like, yo, I'm like every day like I wouldn't go to someone like be like one of them would be like I have A B C D like on a regular basis, but I was comfortable enough where I was like I could be like I wouldn't feel like uncomfortable about how I look or like how I sound or even like what I'm doing. Like I was comfortable around them to be like, okay, I'm very insecure about these things, so don't I'll be like once in a while I'll be like, oh, like once a week, like because honestly it could have been once a week. I'll go to them and be like, um, yo, he's like, are we still good? What do you think of me? Do you like, am I ugly? Those kind of things. Do all that. Like, those are the things. Like, I always ask my friends. Some might have gotten annoyed. I don't know, but I hope they didn't. But at the same time, but I let you. That's who I was, and that's just my insecurities coming out full force. But because of insecurities and anxiety and paranoia, I was always scared to ask girls out, especially girls my age, and which was ironic because majority of my friends are female. Don't know how that happened. I honestly don't. It's just it happened at the end of the day, and I have I got crushes on quite a few of them. Again, how that works, no clue. It happened. It's things happen to me that I don't fully understand. But at the end of the day, I don't. It's led me to understand like fully who I am. It's like as I said, I'm still a work in progress. I don't shy away from saying that. Yes, I am a work in progress. Yes, I will still be. I'll still run to them and be like, yo, are we still cool? But at the end of the day, I'm better off now than when I was like when I initially wrote the blog post that this video is based on, or even back when I was diagnosed initially. These are things that are still work in progress, but yeah, so I'm basically better off. So I hope I made some sort of sense. I probably rambled for way too long, but again, first time doing this, so I hope you enjoy it, and I'm hopefully looking forward to more of these. So thanks, and yeah, signing off.